Good morning to everyone. Today we are going to see about the property of subtractions of integer. In the previous video we had dealt with the property of additions of integers, isn't it? So today we are going to see the property of subtractions of integers. So dear student, as I had informed you earlier that property of subtractions of integers, in this only the closure property exists. Rest other property like commutative property, additive property, okay, then identity property, this property does not exist. Okay, so here we are going to show you how, whether it is existing or not existing. Clear? Suppose if we are having any two integers, that is a and b, then we can always write the property. What is closure property? In the form of addition, closure property will be a plus b is equals to whatever the answers comes, that answers will be integers and it is a closure property, isn't it? But when we are going to see the closure property under subtraction, okay, so under subtraction the property, since we are talking about the subtraction, so a minus b will be there, where a and b are integers, that means it can be negative, positive or neutral. Okay, so whatever the answer is coming, suppose we are going to take as an example, value of a will be 7 and value of b will be 3. So 7 minus 3 will be what? 7 minus 3 will be how much? 4, isn't it? So suppose another example, if we are going to take minus 7 is an integer and we are going to subtract with 3, isn't it? A value will be minus 7 and b value will be 3. So minus 7, as the value of a is minus 7, so minus 7, this minus comes from the property, okay, so minus 3, as 3 is a positive, so it will be, when it will be multiplied, plus and minus will become minus, so it will be minus, so minus and minus will become plus, isn't it? So 7 plus 3 will be 10 and what is the sign will come? Sign will come minus. Why it is minus? Because 7 is a greater number than 3, that's why its sign comes in the answer. Okay, so in this way the closure property under subtractions, it exists. Whatever the number we are going to define, that number will be integers, and whatever the number is going to be subtracted, of course the answer will be an integer. That's why the closure property is satisfied under the property of integer. Okay, but why the rest other property does not exist? Suppose, what is commutative property under addition? Commutative property under addition is a plus b. Yesterday we had seen this in the previous video, isn't it? So what is the commutative property under addition is a plus b, close the bracket, is equals to b plus c. This is right hand side and this one is left hand side, isn't it? So this is the addition property. So if we are talking about the subtraction, so here the sign, just minus sign will come, no other changes will be there. A minus b is equals to b minus c. But dear student, remember that a minus b will never be equals to b minus c. Of course, this property, commutative property under addition, it exists. But when we are talking about commutative property under subtraction of integer, it does not exist. Why it does not exist? I will show you. I will prove you. And its LHS never be equals to RHS. Why it is so? That I will going to show you. Okay, let's see. So what is commutative property under subtraction is, we will write a minus b, okay, is not equals to b minus c. Let's take a value as 3 and b value as 2. Many example is being given over here. I am taking the example with my own. Okay, you can consider any a negative number or a positive number according to your wish. Okay, so let's start the substituting the value on the left hand side. What is the left hand side of the property is a minus b is the left hand side of the property, isn't it? So we are going to substitute the value over here. So a value we are going to take 3, b value is going to take 2, and what the sign come in between? That minus sign, isn't it? So 3 minus 2 is how much? That is 1. Since it is a plus 1, as 3 is a greater number, and whatever the greater number is there, that sign comes in the answer. Have you understood up to here? Now solving the right hand side part. Okay, so what is right hand side part we are having? What is b minus c we are having, isn't it? B minus c we are having. Clear? So what is the value of b we are having over here? That is 2, isn't it? And what is the value of a we are having? That is 3. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Now you can very clearly look out that LHS answer is plus 1 and RHS answer is minus 1. So as you know that plus 1 and minus 1 are both different number, isn't it? That's why LHS is not equals to RHS. Have you understood? Minus plus 1 is coming at the left hand side and minus 1 is coming at the right hand side. That's why left hand side is not equals to right hand side. That means not satisfied, and hence a minus b is not equals to b minus c. That's why I am again and again telling you that subtraction of integers is in that commutative property does not exist. Same thing is for the additive property also. When we are, what is additive property? Additive property under addition is a plus b bracket plus c is equals to a plus b inside the bracket b plus c will come. This is the addition, isn't it? So it exists under addition, but this property, additive property, does not exist under what? Under subtraction it does not exist. How? I will show you. Look, a minus b inside the bracket minus c is equals to a minus b minus c will inside the bracket. Here minus c is coming. So here LHS and RHS never be equal. Why it is so? Because when it is due to sign only. Okay. Always remember that when sign is minus, then the property is, sometimes it is difficult to represent the property due to its sign. Same thing happens for the division also. But it is just opposite happens for the addition and subtraction property. Both additions and multiplication. It exists. Every property exists in multiplication and addition, but some property does not exist in subtraction and division. So dear student, here a minus b minus c is not equals to a minus bracket b minus c. Okay. So this property is known as additive property of subtraction, which does not exist as commutative property, which I had solved and shown to you. Okay, you can take any value of a, b, c, put it in this equation, and you will find that here LHS is not equals to RHS. You can solve it by your own. Okay. Now let's move to the another property. What is the another property we are having? The another property, it's a very important property we are going to talk about, is property of multiplications of integer. Okay. So dear student, here we are going to see the property of integers. Clear? Let's start the property of multiplications of integer. This property is somewhat same as the addition property. Here closure property exists, commutative property exists, associative exists, multiplicative inverse exists, then existence of 0 exists. So altogether 5-6 property this multiplication is having. Okay, so let's start the property. Closure property for multiplication. So here what does the closure property of a multiplication? Suppose any two integer we are having, that is p and q. Okay, when these two integers comes under the closure property, that is p into q. Since we are talking about multiplication, then into sign will come. So whatever the answer is coming, that is an integer. Let's take an example. Suppose the value of p will be 7 and the value of q will be 5. So 7 into 5 will be how much? That is 35, which is an integer itself, isn't it? Again, let's take a negative number. Minus 8 into minus 8 into 4. This is the value of P, this is the value of Q, isn't it? When minus 8 into 4 will be done, then what is answer is coming? That is 32, which is a negative integer. 7 into 5 is equals to 35, which is also a positive integer. Then minus 8 into 4, answer is coming minus 32 is integer. So this is the integer, negative integer. So whatever the answer is coming, either it comes negative integer or positive integer, or also it can comes as a 0 also, because 0 is also an integer, isn't it? So in this way, the closure property for multiplications of integer exist. Clear everyone? Second property we are going to see, which is visible on this screen, is that commutative. Commutative law under addition and subtraction right now. Just before dealing with this, we had seen. So what is commutative under multiplication? Dear student, only the sign will change, rest other remains the same. So A into B is equals to B into B into A. This is the commutative property of multiplications of integer. What is that? A into B is equals to B into A. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose the value of A we are going to take as 5 and the value of B we are going to take as 8. Clear? So here, which is the LHS part? This is the right hand side, LHS is this one. This is the left hand side, RHS. Clear? Now let's see the LHS part, left hand side. That is A into B is equals to, what is value of A we are having? 5, and value of B we are having as minus 8. So 5 into minus 8 will be minus 40, isn't it? Now let's see the RHS part. What is the RHS part we are having? That is B into A we are having, isn't it? Now that is minus 8 will be multiplied with 5. Minus 8 into 5 will be minus 40. You can see that the LHS and the RHS, both the answer is coming same. Minus 40 minus 40. That means LHS and RHS both are equal. Hence, commutative property for multiplication exist. क्लियर एवरीवन? दैट मीन्स आपको LHS और RHS सॉल्व करने के बाद अगर दोनों की वैल्यू सेम आता है, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड की वैल्यू राइट हैंड साइड की वैल्यू से सेम आता है, तो वो प्रॉपर्टी एग्जिस्ट करेगा. अंडरस्टूड? अगर सेम नहीं आता, इक्वल नहीं आता वैल्यू, तो वो प्रॉपर्टी एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है. क्लियर एवरीवन? नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी वी आर गोइंग टू सी इज एसोसिएटिव लॉ फॉर मल्टीप्लिकेशन. So here we are having the associative law of multiplication. What is that? A into B into C is equals to A into B into C. This is the property. Okay. Only what is difference over here? Only the sign is difference. In addition it comes plus, but in multiplication it comes into. Okay. Now let's take an example. Here we are having LHS A into B into C. Okay, let's take an example. A value we are going to take as 3, B value we are going to take as minus 5, and C value we are going to take as minus 8. Okay, now let's see whether associative property for multiplication of integer exists or not. Whether LHS will be equals to RHS or not, we will see. So here we are going to substitute the value. So what is the value of A we are having? 3. B we are having minus 5, okay, into C value we are having minus 8. Clear? So using the BODMAS, the numbers which is present inside the bracket will be multiplied first. So 3 into minus 5 will be minus 15 into minus 8, isn't it? Now minus and minus, this minus and this minus will become plus, isn't it? And 15 into 8 will be 120. So what is the answer we are getting here? 120. Clear? Now let's see about the RHS part. What is RHS? A into bracket B into C. This is the RHS part. So what is A value we are having? 3. B value we are having minus 5, and C value we are having as minus 8. So minus 5 into minus 8 will be how much? It will be plus 40. Minus and minus will become plus, isn't it? So it will be 40. 40 into 3 is how much? That will be plus 120. Have you understood? This means, student, here again the LHS and the RHS part is going to be having the same value, isn't it? If it is having the same value, that is plus 120 is equals to plus 120, that means the property exists. Hence we had satisfied the associative law for multiplication. So dear student, this property will going to help you to solve the exercise questions. Okay, that's why I am teaching you this property, because unless until you will not knowing this property, it will helpless to explain you the exercise question. So it is better to study the property before dealing with the exercise questions. Clear? So next property comes is distributive law of multiplication over addition. Here this property is, it is said that, what is the property says that A into B plus C is equals to A into B plus A into C. This property you people had already studied in class 5, class 6 also, isn't it? So what is called it as distributive property, okay, under multiplication of over addition. Okay, so A into B plus C is equals to A into B, then which sign, plus A into C. Okay, now let's take, if suppose A value we are going to take 1, B value we are going to take 2 and C value we are going to take 3, then putting the value in the LHS and RHS part, what we are going to get it as. So what is the, this part we are going to substitute first. What is this? LHS, isn't it? So A into B plus C. So 1 is the value of A, value of B is 2, C value is 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. What is RHS part we are having? That is A into B plus A into C, isn't it? What is the value of A we are having? 1, B we are having 2, then again A we are having 1, C we are having 3. So 1 into 2 is 2 plus 1 into 3 is 3. So 2 plus 3 is how much? Sorry, here we are having 2 plus 3 is 5. Here I had made a little bit confusion is there. Here 1 into 2 plus 3 is 5, student. I had written 6, but it will be 5. Okay. So 1 into 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. Here the answer, and here also 2 plus 3 is 5. Both where the answer is coming same. Hence LHS is equals to RHS. Okay. Hence the answer is coming same, na? That is 5 in the left hand side as well as 5 in the right hand side. Both LHS and RHS is coming same. That means the distributive property of multiplications of additions exist. Clear? So here some examples is being given. You can see the examples. More examples you can create and solve by your own. Now next property we will going to see as existence of multiplicative identity. Here we are going to see existence of multiplicative identity. So what is multiplicative identity? As do you remember that about addition, that is additive identity? Do you remember that? There what we are going to do? Whatever number we are going to add with the number, A plus 0 is equals to 0 plus A is equals to A. This is the additive identity. This we had already studied in the property of addition. Now we are going to see multiplicative identity. So here what do you mean by multiplicative identity? For any integer A, we have what is A into 1 is equals to 1 into A. That means when we are going to multiply any integer with A, either a positive integer or either a negative integer, any integer when we are going to multiply it with 1, then the result comes the same. That means suppose minus 12 is the identity, that means value of A, we are going to multiply it with 1, then what the answer will come in? Minus 12 into 1 will be minus 12 itself, or 1 into minus 12 will be minus 12 itself. If we are going to take value of A as 6, then 6 into 1 will be 6 itself. So either the positive integer will come or the negative integer will come. कहने का मतलब ये है कि कोई भी इंटीजर हो, चाहे पॉजिटिव इंटीजर हो या नेगेटिव इंटीजर हो, अगर उसको आप 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करते हो तो वहाँ पर मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी एग्जिस्ट करता है, उसी को बोलते हैं मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी। जब किसी इंटीजर को 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करने पर वही नंबर वापस आ जाता है। तो अंडरस्टूड एवरीवन। नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इज एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ multiplicative inverse. Inverse means, by the word you can say, okay, before studying this property, what do you mean by reciprocal? Reciprocal of what is 6? Reciprocal of 6, everybody know, that is 1 by 6. Reciprocal of minus 2 is 1 by minus 2. This is the reciprocal only. This reciprocal words is only the multiplicative inverse. Understood? We are going to just do the inverse of that, just reciprocate that. So multiplicative inverse of non-zero integer a is the 1 by a. Suppose any number we are having, that is 12. What will be the multiplicative inverse of that? That is 1 by 12. If we are having any number 12, what will be the reciprocal of that? This is only the reciprocal. So reciprocal itself is said to be as a multiplicative inverse. Clear everyone? Now next is property of 0. Property of 0, it's a very simple property. Whenever any integer is going to multiply, either a small integer, bigger integer, whatever, whenever any negative or positive integer is going to multiply with the number 0, it will be, the answer will be 0 itself. Either it will be positive, negative, smaller, bigger, does not matter. Whenever a number is going to multiply with 0, the answer will come in 0 itself. This is the last property. Have you understood up to here? Now let's see about the division property. Okay, dear student, you have to follow the NCERT book. Okay, no other book will be, your NCERT book only will be followed this year also. Okay. Next will be the property of divisions of integers. Here the property of multiplication is over. Now we are going to see the properties of divisions of integers. Clear? So here again I am going to tell you that only in this division property, the existence of closure property is there. That means only closure property exists, because when you are going to solve the closure property, it satisfied the LHS and the RHS part, but in division property, as in the subtraction property, that commutative and associative does not exist. In the same way, here in this division property, commutative associative property does not exist. Clear? This is the shortly I explained you, because it does not exist. Okay, so first property of the closure property is, that is a divided b. If any integer we are having a and b, when it will be get divided, whatever the answer is coming, that is only the integer itself. Suppose 4 will be divided by 2, what the answer is coming? 2, isn't it? So this is a positive integer, that means answer is correct, isn't it? Hence closure property exists. But when we are going to see about the which property, second one is commutative, isn't it? So what is commutative property? That is a divided b will not be equals to b divided c, b divided a. Okay, why it is so? When 4 will be divided with 2, the answer is coming 2 itself. But when 2 will be divided by 4, the answer is coming, divide and can see, here 1, here 2. So 0.5, isn't it? So here again right hand side 0.5 is coming and left hand side 2 is coming. Hence this property does not exist. Clear everyone? That's why again and again I am telling you, for the subtraction and division only one property exists, that is closure property. Rest as other property, LHS will not be equals to RHS, and it does not exist. Exit means क्या होगा? वो रहेगा जरूर, लेकिन उसमें कभी भी LHS और RHS इक्वल नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? Okay, for today's student, classes is over. Now tomorrow onwards we are going to see the exercise question. Here all the important definitions and properties I had given you within this 3 video. Please go through with this video so that you can easily understood the property, and with the help of those property can able to solve the exercise questions. Hope you people understood. If you are having any doubt, can ask me through my WhatsApp number. You will get my WhatsApp number by your respective class teacher. Clear? So for today, thank you everyone. Tomorrow we are going to have the exercise 1.1. One more thing student, you have to make a college copy of 200 pages. College copy size will be A4 size. Okay, and both side it will be lining. So for today, thank you everyone.